Hello everyone. So I'm making this video as the England-Italy match is going on. I'm sort of following it on and off. I don't follow football, so it's not something I would naturally watch. But nevertheless, it's a big event, and hopefully England will prevail. May the best side win, and may people celebrate or commiserate responsibly. Yeah. Of course, it'll be a huge thing if England wins. I do understand that, so I'll definitely check the headlines on the hour. Right, so this video is a little bit unusual, something I don't often do, but I do feel compelled to this time because I think it should serve as a kind of broader message for something that's been brought up by one of my viewers, subscribers. I'm not sure if this person is a subscriber or just someone who's watched the videos. But basically, we've had a little bit of a testy exchange, right? And I'm putting this out here. My intention is not to humiliate the person. It's not to kind of point score. But everything I'm going to say here can be verified. People are welcome to check out the comments themselves and make their own decision. This is not about me and the this person so much as it is about the broader issue as to why I do why I control my channel in a certain way. For want of the right term, because there's a few ways to look at this. So, what I'm referring to is the rating system on YouTube. I think I did address this once before, but I'll address it again. So, I disable comments. Excuse me, I disable ratings. It's a very important difference, actually. I don't disable comments. That's the point. I do not disable comments except on an extremely rare video where there's been threats against other members or something like that. Um, There's a few things that needs to be borne in mind before I start this. Um, I'm Pig Man Pig. You're welcome to watch this. Inevitably, you're going to be part of this video, but it's not just about you. Um, and like I say, it's not a case of trying to win points over you or embarrass you or anything like that. But I do think, if you're going to attack me and you have attacked me, then I have a right to reply, and I choose to do that via video. Um, because, like I say, the issues that you brought up might be something that other people think about. So the issue of ratings is that you have this little thumb up, thumb down. That's basically the ratings. Now I'm going to read out your comment, and people can look this up. It's on the video about the assassination of the Haitian president. And if you're a Haitian, you haven't said so. If it's something to do with that, then you need to make that clear, but you haven't. So, this is what you wrote. This was your initial comment. And I think this is very important because that initial contact, that initial comment, communicate, whatever you want to call it, is the basis of where you're coming from. So it matters less what you say afterwards. This is the basis of where you're coming from, right? I'm going to read this out, and you can't deny that you wrote this. How come you disable like ratings on so many of your videos? As a channel, especially when talking so much politics, is a big red flag and will scare away a lot of people. And in any case, it is a rarely justified thing to do, but never with politics, and enabling comments isn't a workaround. For all we know, you could be deleting them or simply not answer. Even if everyone was writing comments, it still doesn't give any meaningful indication as to the quality of your content. Well, as you know, I completely disagree with you. There's a few things that you've raised there, so I'm going to address these. I've already addressed you directly, but this is just for anyone else out there who might agree with you, right? Um, you say that if simply allowing comments doesn't give viewers a meaningful indication as to the quality of your content. Well, speaking for myself here, I think for myself, okay? I don't judge content on what other people say. I form my own opinions. This applies to other areas of life as well. People might make recommendations, for example, about a particular food or a particular film that they enjoy. And, if they're a friend, I might listen to them. I might feel, okay, I might check that out. But ultimately, it's our own decision. Now, I look at it that way with YouTube channels. I'll check out a channel that I'm interested in. Maybe it's the content, maybe it's the subject, maybe it's the style of the creator. I don't have the flashiest style on YouTube. I don't have the technology for that. I talk about socio-political issues mostly. I sometimes do film reviews, I sometimes do other things, but admittedly, it is mostly socio-political issues. That's one area that you're right about. I do talk a lot about that. You're also right to say that this is something that people have strong views about. Again, I accept that point. So, what's my obligation? As far as I'm concerned, as a creator, my obligation is not to be so arrogant that I voice my opinion but don't allow other people to have theirs, i.e., to criticize me or to respond. Now, I do not do that. And for you to insinuate, as you did in several of your comments, that I do, is simply false. It's a smear against me. You said in this initial comment, how do we know you're not deleting them or simply not answering? Well, on the point about not answering, I do try to get back to comments. I've got back to yours. I've given you a lot more time than some of my positive subscribers. I try to get back to comments. Can I get around all of them? No. Why? Because I have a life outside YouTube. Um, it's, it takes some time to reply to people, and I don't resent that. I'm not complaining about it because I think that if people spend the time to watch my video to comment, it's courteous of me to say thank you to them. And I try to do that. I try to respond. But, I've come across people like you before who have this idea that the job of a creator is to get into a long, lengthy back and forth debate with criticism on the thread. Now, I don't think that's the job of a creator. Maybe you could disagree with that, but I just don't think that is the job of a creator to have to spend a long, long time getting into these back and forth debates on the comment thread. I think it would be a lot more practical if, for example, we done a sort of joint video where we had a debate that way. But to suggest that I should, spend so much time responding to individual comments, um, is not really realistic, is it? Because creators don't do that, and I don't think we should really. I think that the idea is that we read comments, we try to get back to people because if people spend the time leaving them, then it's courteous to try and get back to people. I know that when I leave a positive comment on someone's channel, then it's nice if they give it a little like or respond to it. So I get that. I do get that. But the reality is, I've got about 3,000 videos. There's probably a lot of comments I haven't responded to, but that's not from pettiness or, contempt for people. It's just a time issue, that's all. It doesn't take long to upload a video, but it is more time consuming replying to every comment. So what I try to do is get around the ones that I can. And I've replied to your comment, so you can't claim that I haven't. Now you're really contradicting yourself in your comments with what you've said here, and again, other people are welcome to look at this. Again, it's on the video about Haitian President Jovenel Moise assassinated, that precise video. Um, this is ironic. You say, Jesus, I didn't attack your channel. This is constructive criticism, far as I'm concerned. Well, no, it's not. It's just not. I mean, anyone reading that would not read that as constructive criticism. For all we know, you could be deleting them or simply not answering. Is that constructive criticism? That's not constructive criticism. As for a big red flag, not constructive criticism. That's negative criticism. Constructive criticism would be like something along the lines of, I think you've got quite interesting comment, but may I suggest you do this a different way? That would be constructive criticism. So, no, it's not constructive criticism. And you, frankly, have a strange idea of constructive criticism if you think that personal smears is constructive criticism. Because you have said in other comments, you've questioned my integrity, you've questioned my honesty. Um, so, to suggest that you're not coming out with personal attacks is just not true. Anyone looking at your comments can see that that's exactly what you're doing. Um, And there's another issue I take with your whole stance, Pigman Pig. Well, there's quite a few issues. You're talking about like someone who is some expert on YouTube channels. I looked at your channel. You've got nothing. I haven't seen you upload any of your own videos. So, you're the great expert. I haven't seen any of your videos. And if that has a hint of sarcasm, then maybe that's intentional because, someone who comes to my channel and wants to tell me what to do, you claim it's advice. I think the whole wording is very condescending and it's full of smears. But, you say that you're being constructive, but you're not offering any sort of balance. You're not saying like, I think you've got good things to say, or even that your content's interesting, but if you're talking about contentious subjects, then you should allow ratings. You're not putting it like that. You're just being utterly negative. You're being 100% negative. So how you can say that's constructive, I don't know. It's not constructive. I come from a teaching background, and if a student was lagging behind, maybe they weren't listening to me, maybe they were not doing the exercise correctly. I wouldn't just run them down and tell them that they're really useless or whatever. I would explain why they need to do something. Now, in your later comments, you do moderate a little bit, and I think this is because you know full well that your initial comment was an attack, and now you're trying to suggest it wasn't. It was. Just be honest about that. It was. Um, on the issue of ratings, so your whole logic seems to be that the quality of someone's video should be determined on how many likes they have or how many dislikes. And, that to me is ridiculous. SMU did say that maybe Pigman Pig has a point about that. I understand what you mean, and I do believe its channel will grow if we enable comments more. It's a headache dealing with trolls online, but it does allow for valuable discussions. I'm not sure I agree with that, because I think trolls detract. Okay, I don't think trolls produce adult debate. They just detract, and you get spamming comments and so on. But this is my open sort of offer, right? Or my open suggestion, or my open take on this. If I find that most of my subscribers, or at least a sizable number of my subscribers who leave comments, say, okay, Nathan, open up the rating system, then I will concede that maybe I'm wrong about this and maybe I should open it up. I.e., maybe I'm thinking too much about what I'm concerned would be a popularity contest. Because I don't think people should judge the quality of a channel on how many likes it has. It's like if someone says a film's good, you might sort of be intrigued, but you would still make your own judgment. You know, frankly, there's videos on YouTube that are viral, they get millions of views, but in my opinion, they're rubbish. That's just my opinion. But clearly, millions of other people don't see it that way. So it just shows that this really is subjective. Um, Perhaps if a video is or a channel is more successful, it would be an indicator that they're doing something right from the technology point of view. But I'm not sure the ratings is the best barometer of that. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. So, like I say, I will swallow humble pie. Right? That's my offer. Not because you've asked me to, but because that would be the right thing to do. If there is a consensus, that is to say, if a lot of people say this is an issue, then I'll swallow humble pie and I will then strongly consider enabling the ratings. But I don't like the ratings, and I've explained why I don't like them. But something that I really take issue with is your suggestion that comments are they don't mean anything. Here's the thing, and this is what I explained to you. If someone leaves a negative rating, like the little thumb down, but they don't explain why, that's a hit and run. Okay, it's a little bit cowardly because they are thumbing down a channel, but they're not explaining why. I think it's a bit childish as well. I'm thinking, well, okay, you don't like my video. Why? What is it I've said that you take issue with? I don't mind people disagreeing with me politically. We might really be in total ends of the spectrum, different ends of the spectrum. But I do not just delete comments that I don't like, and I strongly, strongly resent you claiming that I do. You have suggested that I disable comments. I don't. Perhaps on a couple of my videos I've got roughly 3,000 videos. And I think I've disabled comments on maybe 10 to 20 of them. I don't know, I'll have to check the figures, but it's certainly a very, very, very small number. The reasoning for doing that on those videos was because threats were made against other subscribers. And also, I had some videos where there was just a barrage of ad hominem attacks against myself. Now, I don't think I should have to put up with that. If I have a viral channel, that comes with the territory, but I am a smaller channel. I average 50 views per video. Okay, so if there is trolls who are giving loads of ad hominem attacks, why on earth should I give them oxygen? Why on earth should I give them a platform? But even then, I haven't deleted comments just because some trolls have tried to get under my skin. So for you to suggest that I have shows that you know nothing about my channel. I don't know when you first started watching my videos, but you look back and you say with a straight face that I do not allow critical opinions. And if you were to say that, then you would be lying because you would know deep down that it's not true. I do allow criticism. Um, so I just utterly reject that accusation. I'm going to round this up soon, but basically, Pigman Pig, you're playing games here. You are suggesting that you're trying to make constructive criticism. I don't believe your criticism is constructive. Maybe your latter comments are a bit more moderate. I'm not going to read them all out, it would be too long to go through the whole exchange we've been through. But basically, come to the next live stream. Please come, right? Raise the contentions you've raised in the comments. I'll read them out. I won't shortchange you. I won't edit anything you say. You say whatever you want, anything, and then other subscribers can decide if they agree with you or not. And if there's a situation where a lot of people agree with you, then I'll think, okay, maybe you have a point. Maybe I should allow the ratings. But I still think the way you've went about this cannot be called constructive criticism. It really can't. It was an attack on my channel. So for you to say that it wasn't, that's not constructive criticism. It really isn't. Saying that someone doesn't have integrity, suggesting that I did disable comments, um, and you've said this. Uh, but unless you detach yourself and adapt, I'm warning you right now, this channel of yours is not going to be a good idea for you to keep up. Politics can really fuck with your mental health, especially now. It's driving people nuts. I'm not telling you to stop what you're doing. I'm just saying to weigh up your options here and to think about what is best for you first and then your channel. I wholeheartedly disagree relying on the lack of a medium for people to give you feedback is a healthy alternative. Relying on the lack of a medium. Well, what's comments if not a medium? I could understand your points if I was totally disabling comments. In that way, I would just be basically talking to an empty chamber. But that is not the case. And I think it is utterly unfair and false and disingenuous of you to suggest that I'm not giving people a platform. And frankly, I strongly resent that. And again, you've got nothing. You have no channel, you have no videos. So what gives you the right to think that you can talk down to me and suggest that what I'm doing is wrong? Now, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I just don't think that you, someone with no content, are in a position to lecture someone who has at least some content. I may not be viral, and maybe this channel can improve. I'm not going to tolerate someone, just playing word games, coming out with such a negative critique and then suggesting it's constructive. It's not. And I would invite you to look at that initial comment and ask yourself, was that really the best way you could have worded that? Was that really diplomatic? Was it really constructive criticism? I don't think it was. Maybe other members disagree. Maybe they think you raised a fair point. But like I say, this is something I'm going to be democratic. If there is a consensus of people who say, "Oh, Nathan, we think you should enable the ratings," I will do that. I will. I'm making that pledge here and now if there is a consensus. And by consensus, I mean most of the people getting back to me. It's clearly ridiculous to think that, I've got 1,800 subscribers. Most of them probably watch a few videos and then watch other videos. That's human nature. That's how it works in most areas. It's a bit like, we talk about hardcore fans of a particular sport. So the people who spend time on my channel commenting are those who are, let's say, more dedicated subscribers. I value their opinion and I try to take it on board. I do. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to lose my creative independence just because of what one or two people say. I'm not going to do that. I will listen to the consensus, but I'm not going to just change to suit someone's complaints. I'm not going to do that. I really don't frankly understand why you're so obsessed by the ratings because I think that what's more important is allowing people to have their opinion. And that's what I'm doing. I've let you have your opinion. I've let you attack me personally, although I strongly resent it. And I think you're disingenuous. You say that it's not about that, but you've shown to me that what you value is whether a video is popular or not. That's what you place an emphasis on. That's what you think is important. That's your values. My values is in critical thinking, in independent thinking, and deciding for ourselves. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being naive about this. And the reality of YouTube is that people are maybe a bit more artificial and look at the popularity of a video. Certainly for me, I don't say a video with 1 million views is superior to a video with 3,000 views or whatever it might be. I just decide for myself on the content. And that's all there is to it. But that's my reasoning for disabling ratings because I think they can be abused as a sort of popularity contest. I don't like the way people leave a thumbs down comment without saying anything. Um, and that's it. If I'm wrong about that, if there's a consensus, like I say, I'll swallow humble pie and I will change that. But until that, then nothing changes. And, again, I give the open invitation to you. You have several options here, right? The ball's in your court. You can come to the live stream and repeat your criticisms and your negativity, which is all you have. You haven't said a single positive thing. So this idea that it's constructive, I think, is just wrong because a constructive criticism would have some balance. You have no balance. You're entirely negative. Um, and that's it. You can come to that, share your thoughts, and I'll raise them. You can upload a video. If you don't have the technology to do that, I'm not going to look down on that. I was once in that position myself. So, but it's just another option that you've got. What I'm not going to do is get into long, long back and forths with you. This is the last time I'm going to directly address you apart from that live stream. If you come to the live stream, I'll engage you. Otherwise, I'm not wasting any more time with your utter negativity. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's all it is. You're not being constructive. Um, constructive criticism, I really think would be your channel is interesting, or, I think you've got potential, but you need to consider doing this. That would be constructive criticism. What you have to offer is utter negativity, false allegations, insinuations, smears, accusing me of having no integrity. That's a smear. So that's it. So I expect to see you there, Pigman Pig. It's a challenge. Turn up to the live stream. I'll probably do it sometime tomorrow. I'll put a video out saying the time. If you're not there, then if you just keep coming out with negativity, I have zero obligation to spend time on you. Zero. I've already spent enough time on you as it is, and I'll leave it there.